Jay with True Empathic Insights Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel today. I've got my little doggy here trying to get my attention. See there? And this is your February 2017 monthly Oracle Romance and Love card reading. So this is very exciting, as I've stated in my other videos that I've recorded thus far, in that these particular readings are, it's the first I've ever done Romance and Love Oracle card readings on YouTube. So this is very exciting, and it just seemed very apropos since February is considered Love Month, although every month should be considered a love month. Also, since I started recording, it's been an interesting journey because, you know, while I'm attempting to cater to the needs of those that are in relationships as well as those that are single, sometimes I have to just go with where the universe guides me. And if it ends up being a card reading that's more indicative of a relationship, then I just kind of go with that. Also, as I was reading, it just felt like more so that the universe was guiding me as far as how to approach your life long term, your love life long term, what to expect, what you'll encounter, how to approach things, etc. So it's not even necessarily indicative of the month of February, even though the reading is being issued in the month of February, so if not earlier. So that's been a very interesting take, and I hope it's going to provide some good insight for those that for all of you, really. I hope it ends up being something that's very helpful to you. Also, the cards that I'm pulling from, just two decks. It's the Romance Love Angels Oracle card deck by Doreen Virtue. As you can see, I do a lot of love readings since it's worn. And then, of course, Tony Carmine Salerno. I love Doreen Virtue and Tony Carmine Salerno cards. This is the Lovers Oracle card deck by Tony Carmine Salerno. Those will be used primarily as your clarifier card. So, yeah, I think so far it's been pretty good, and I'm really hoping it's something that really syncs up for you and ends up providing the insight that you need. But without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead. I did glance over your cards, Cancer. I'm not going to lie. This time I glanced. Shame on me. I try not to read them before I press record, but I was curious because many of the cards that I'm shuffling have just been popping out automatically. It's just been like, bam, here they are. And so for you, the last two popped out. But I was like, gosh, I don't know which one should be second and which should be third. So we'll see as the universe guides me as far as the message you need to hear. So, right off the bat, this tells me that many of you are in a relationship or in the cusp of a relationship, and you're wondering if whether or not it's worth it. The card is give your relationship a chance. So that to me says the universe wants you to spend a little more time with this person and give it a little more opportunity to grow and develop. It doesn't necessarily mean that the relationship will be long term. I don't want you to get your guys' hopes up as far as like marriage or things of that nature, but there's meant to be something learned from this relationship with this person in particular. Something that's a part of your soul contract in this plane, in this time frame. And so while you're working on that with this person, you're gaining something, you're learning something that's going to help you in the long run, either continued in this lifetime or within future lifetimes. So, you know, you're meant to be with this person whether or not you realize it. You're meant to be with them right now at this point in time. And there might be several other relationships that you're meant to go through before the soulmate or the twin flame comes into play, if you haven't met them already and you just haven't really developed a relationship with them as of yet. But right now, I feel like this relationship, short term, so not marriage, but definitely longer in comparison to other relationships that you've experienced, because you're meant to learn a lot with this person, and this person is meant to learn a lot from you. It's all in conjunction with your soul contract. And as I said for, I think it was Taurus, perhaps, we have many kindred spirits in this plane. So when you hear the term soulmate, soulmate doesn't necessarily mean that the person you're meant to spend the rest of your life with. You can have several soulmates within your lifetime based off of a soul contract that you set before you came here. And also soulmates from other lifetimes coming back to work with you on something else within this plane that you're meant to learn, because when we leave this plane and we're in the spiritual realm, it's a very different dynamic. But here we can feel, we can love, we can touch, we can cry. There are certain things that are more tangible for us within this plane versus the spiritual plane. And so we decide to come back to have more of those experiences, to learn more. And in the long run, what we're meant to use with that knowledge is a relationship or a contract that we have with the universe, the ultimate divine. But for now, we are just going through the motions and learning what we need to learn. So, like I said, you can have several kindred spirits, several soulmates within this lifetime that you're meant to carry out some of those soul contracts with. And some are more short-term than others. In this regard, this is a short-term soulmate kindred spirit relationship. This is not your twin flame. The twin flame is the one that you're meant to spend the rest of your life with, okay? It's a very different concept. Twin flame is like an extension of you. It's like the soul literally split and then it developed and then it went into two different beings, right? It's almost like that. Although some would say that it's actually your soul and it's been split into another person. I think that's very possible. I honestly think that we have two souls that are very, very much interconnected in the spiritual plane, that it's almost like they're one, but they're not. That's how I see it, but that's my own truth. Some people think it's just, no, it's me, and there's another part of me. No, because I really feel like the twin flame is an extension, not a completion. That makes sense. That's why it's so important that many of us learn how to function on our own, how to love ourselves, how to be comfortable in our own skin before we can expect our twin flame to come into play, or before we can expect our twin flame to come into existence. Because they're not meant to pick up your pieces. They're not meant to fix you. They're meant to be an extension of you. When you are truly living in your truth, and you are comfortable and you recognize you for the God and Goddess that you are, that is when your twin flame will enter. However, you are in a relationship right now with someone that you're just meant to complete a soul contract with. So I think when you start looking at it like that, instead of getting really frustrated and really like, oh, as is very apropos of many Cancer water signs who are very sensitive. We are very sensitive, and you're the crabs. It's like, you know? Keep this in mind. You and your partner at this point in time are meant to learn something from each other. Very important life lessons to be learned. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky because I have two cards. The two cards that popped out were just popping out at the same time, and I was trying to figure out which was supposed to go next. And I initially felt like this was the card that needed to go next. And this is the codependency card. Now, codependency is very apropos of Cancer signs, water signs, because you have a tendency to latch on. That's why you get so frustrated with your partner, because you do latch on to them. You do offer them a ton of emotional support and understanding. You can anticipate what they need before they can anticipate it. And so when they're not giving that to you in return, because for you it's like, well, I can totally see what needs to be done to fix this, and I can totally see where this should be going, and your partner may not see that because they're on a different path. They have the freedom of choice just like you do. So they may not be as sensitive as you are. And so you're latching on, in a sense, trying to mold them into something that you want them to be, and that's not good, my dear water sign. You can't do that. You can't. You have to allow that person to be who they're meant to be. They have their own lessons in life that they're meant to learn. Now, granted, you're learning lessons together. The more time they spend with you, the more they're learning from you, whether or not you realize that, whether or not you recognize that. Without even having to force it or push it, they're learning something from you, just like you're learning something from them. And maybe one of the lessons you're learning is stop being codependent. Stop expecting this person to complete you. Your twin flame, the one that you're meant to be with, is meant to be your extension. Extinction. No. An extension. Extension, that's right. Because extinction is spelled differently. Okay, extension. Thank you, universe. Thank you, guys. So yes, this does feel like the second card. Thank you. Yeah, I was a little confused because I thought, gosh, maybe it's the other one. So yes, this does tie in with the give your relationship a chance. But in giving your relationship a chance and in allowing it to develop the way it's supposed to naturally, by going with the flow, Cancer, instead of forcing it and controlling it, recognize you have to give up some of your codependent ways. And it might just mean that as you continue to get along with this person, or as you continue to develop the relationship, maybe don't make yourself so available to that person. Maybe don't always answer the call. Give yourself a few hours before calling them back, you know? There are other things that you could be doing to nurture yourself and to nurture your goals and your manifestations that sometimes absence truly does make the heart grow fonder. I mean, if you want to allow this relationship to grow and prosper, or at least to learn the lessons that, well, I guess you might feel a little bit hesitant to let it grow and prosper now that you know it's short term. But I don't want you going into the relationship thinking, well, screw it, I'm just not going to care anymore. Like, you should still care. You should still be attentive and allow the relationship to grow and prosper the way that it's meant to naturally. But the purpose is for you not to feel that you need to always be made available to that person, just like you shouldn't expect them to always be made available to you. You need to have your own things going on, Cancer. You need to have your own goals. You need to have your own desires. You need to have your own truth. Your truth is not another person's. It doesn't work like that. It's got to be yours. Your life isn't given purpose because you're with this person. You have a tendency to do that, Cancer. My life has purpose because now I'm nurturing and, in a sense, mothering this other person. And you are the mother of the signs. Out of all the signs, mother is Cancer. So your partner feels very comfortable being nurtured and mothered by you. I can guarantee it. But how is that benefiting you? Maybe, just maybe, your partner needs to recognize psychologically why they feel comfortable letting someone mother them and not learn how, and not picking up the pieces for themselves. Maybe that needs to be learned. And maybe you need to learn that it's not always necessary for you to mother your partner. Sometimes you need to mother yourself. Sometimes you need to put the same level of attention and nurturing into yourself that you do into other people. Final card for you, my dear Cancerian friends, is romantic feelings. So when I see romantic feelings, usually this means that your feelings are completely worth exploring. I'm sorry, I didn't read the message at the end of codependency. I was just notified of that. Sorry. The message is addictions are affecting your romantic life. So your addiction is relationships, codependency. Who are you, Cancer, unless you're in a relationship giving love to someone? Well, Cancer, you're you. I know I've said that in another reading. I can remember that now. Cancer, you are you. Your gift is love. But there always needs to be the balance. Inhalation and exhalation, giving and receiving. Now, back to romantic feelings. This means that, your feelings are real and worth exploring. That means don't give up on the relationship altogether, now that you know that it's short term. Thank you, universe. It's not meant to be, screw it, there's no point in me pursuing it, because obviously nothing's going to come from it. I ain't got time for this. I had to talk about this with Gemini too. Time truly is on your side. Our envision of time in the third dimensional plane, which is this plane, the physical, tangible plane, is very different from spiritual timing. So you need to keep that in mind. You actually have more time than you think. And you would do well to just be present, to be grateful for the time that you do have in this plane, versus trying to force things to happen, versus trying to speed up time, or feel that you need to rush it because you've lost time. But in actuality, no, everything is happening in spiritual timing the way that it's supposed to, the way that it's meant to. So these feelings are worth exploring. This person is worth developing a relationship with. This person is worth spending time with and being romantical with. Just enjoy it. Just be present and enjoy it. Just enjoy it for what it is, okay? Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Okay. So now, what I'm going to do is go to my clarifier card. and try to provide some insight to you before I let you go. And before I take a break, I'm trying to not record all 6 signs in a day. I mean, there's 12 total, but I was thinking I would record 6 in a day. But that is very draining for me. You know, I am a true empath. So when I'm hearing messages and feeling messages, it can be somewhat draining for me. And I need to breathe. I need to rest. So I'm going to rest. But I want to make sure that you get the clarifying message. Thank you. Before I let you go, I was thinking, when's it coming? When's it coming? Okay. So here we've got 2 lovers just fully embracing each other and enjoying the moment, being present in the moment. And the card says romance. Cupid's arrow strikes. So just enjoy this, Cancer. Just enjoy it. And I know this feels very much relationship driven, but for my single Cancers, this means that someone's coming if they haven't come already. And you might be, you know, questioning whether or not they're worth it. Well, yes, for you, this person that's entering your life right now that you may start to date more frequently. So it's not just like a one date and then you never hear from them again. It's going to be frequent. Those feelings are real and worth exploring because you're meant to learn something with them. This is a soul contract relationship that needed to happen. So it was meant to happen based on spiritual timing, not yours. It wasn't something you forced. It's something that flowed. And you're going to know that because this person is going to pop into your life when you least expect them. They are not your twin flame. But that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy the romance and you can enjoy this person and that you can enjoy being present with them in the meantime. Okay? So there you have it, my dear Cancerian friends. I hope this was helpful to you. Again, if you'd like a personal reading, by all means, feel free to contact me at the description, the information located in the description box below. Kind of get those mixed up. Sorry. Also, you can reach out to me at the information located conveniently as a video. I am in the process of trying to develop a website to make readings even easier so that when you do decide to purchase, there's no question of how it works. In addition to that, if you haven't viewed your moon and or rising sign as of yet, I do encourage you to do that. There are 3 signs in your zodiac, and you can actually look that up about anywhere. It's your moon and or rising sign. The rising for me is Virgo, the moon for me is Leo, and then of course my sun sign is Cancer, so I'm right there with you. What else can I tell you? You can always let me know how this is resonating for you in the comment section below, or you can just send me a personal email if you don't feel comfortable sharing it on the public format. Just let me know how this is syncing up for you. I love to hear from you guys. And that's about it. Just enjoy it for what it is, Cancer. Have fun with it. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to meet this person in the month of February, although I feel like the universe is saying you are. For many of you, you are. And then the rest of you are currently in the relationship. So, wow, let me know how that goes. All right. I love you, Cancer. Bye.